Wir sind hier bei Infinite Crysis, dem neuen MOBA von Warner Interactive, und ich bin hier bei Herrn Stiefel, dem Executive Producer vom Spiel. Stellen wir mal ein paar Fragen. So, first of all, the story, the universes. Are those all DC universes that are established? And how does all the different universes collide? Can you just give me a bit of an overview over what's happening there in your game?
Yeah, so basically all these various universes, DC had already established that there are basically 52 universes that happen. So there's 52 different Elseworlds that exist that have been established over the years by DC. So we've taken that as sort of the basis for what we're doing. We're not following the exact storyline, but it means that there can be all kinds of things like a Gaslight world or a fantasy world or a atomic world. We also have the ability to create new ones. So some of the characters that actually can come from these universes that maybe we haven't heard of before. So characters themselves, we're going to stick to the 52 universes. We think that's enough universes to go with. But it means that you can have a world where you have Batman and Nightmare Batman, who's essentially a vampire, or Gaslight Batman, who is from a sort of steampunk era. So it's cool. All kinds of possibilities for characters.
And so generally the game is a MOBA, one of those very quite hardcore genres that surfaced recently. And so can you tell me a bit more about the certain things on the gameplay that makes your game special? So, yeah. So
it's clearly a MOBA, and first and foremost we have to make sure that this is a really great AAA MOBA, that people that play these games feel like this is going to be exactly what they expect. It's going to be fun to play, it's going to be well balanced, it's going to be a great game. We're bringing some new things to the genre though, what we call destructive PvP. So the map itself can actually change. So in the build that we actually have people playing today, there's a meteor that comes crashing from another universe, of course, and goes crashing into the map and sort of changes the makeup of the map, maybe rearranges the jungle a little bit, or alters a lane. It also creates new opportunities for strategy. So the meteor might come with a set of artifacts and things that people can use to give them advantage over the other team. So it sort of creates a more dynamic experience. Also means I'm playing a superhero or supervillain. So this is a world that I can destroy in some ways, right? So if I shoot a weapon or if I throw something across the map and it hits a wall, the wall's going to break into pieces. I can pick up a car and throw it at you in the game. I can rip a telephone pole off the ground and use it as a weapon. So the interactive nature of the maps is really part of the gameplay.
And in the demo that I played just now, I wasn't attacking towers in an enemy base, there were checkpoints. I was very confused. What's that happening there in a MOBA game?
So actually we're building 3 maps. The map that you played today is similar to Dominion, which was a map that was in League of Legends for a short while. It's a very fast, short session play game. We wanted to start there because we felt like it was a good place for people who are getting used to it to get involved during beta. But we are building out 2 maps, one which is a sort of traditional tri-lane map, which is what I think competitive players expect. We're playing that right now at Turbine. And another map which we're sort of inventing, which is more about destruction, something that people haven't seen before. Still very much a MOBA with lanes, but kind of a new take on it. We're not talking about it in great detail yet. That's something we're going to be announcing soon. But we'll have all those maps by the end of this year. Certainly throughout the year, we'll be rolling out these game modes and new maps.
Okay, can you tell me a bit more about the gameplay? What a really pro gamer is looking for? How the game is played in a really good and professional way?
Well, I mean, the most important thing is that it's balanced. So we, first of all, have these very distinct characters. That's what DC, especially the multiverse, gives us, is that we can really have very discrete power sets between the different characters, and then making sure they're balanced, making sure that the progression system that we have, you're going to have amplifiers that you'll be able to apply at the account level, very much like you have in some other MOBAs. You have stolen powers, which are a little bit like summoner spells, that you can apply to your character to give you some superpowers and super strengths that you might not have had before. And so balancing all those things together is really what the professional players expect, and most importantly that it's really fun to play, it's really responsive, it feels very competitive, and I think so far we're seeing that we've hit that mark, and we're just going to try to make it better and better. We're going into beta very soon, and we want to bring in as many professional players as we can into our beta to play and give us feedback so we can help make the game even more responsive.
Will there be an open beta before the release?
Yeah, so we announced yesterday that we are accepting applications for beta. which is essentially the start of closed beta. We're starting that very soon, so we're going to start inviting people in the very near future. And then, as these things do, that will grow into a larger closed beta, and then eventually we will open it up to the public, sometime this year. Our goal is to be, fully live by late fall this year.
Okay, and of course a big question for mobile games, business model. How are you handle that?
So we're not talking in great detail about the business model yet. We have a pretty clear idea about what we want to do and how we want to do it. It's a free-to-play game, though, I can tell you that. And, if you know Turbine, we have a lot of experience in free-to-play games. And so we're taking a lot of that learning from Lord of the Rings and Dungeons & Dragons Online, which we've turned into free-to-play games, and trying to build a game from scratch designed to support that kind of business model. But the goal really is to give players all kinds of different choices about how they want to participate in content in the game.
Is there any persistent goals you can play forward to, or you can accumulate while playing matches on matches?
Yeah, so at the account level, which is what's persistent, there are things called amplifiers which you can accumulate over time to help apply to different characters to make them more powerful. Stolen powers we talked about is something that you can actually apply to different characters, and they're sort of at the account level. You're going to be acquiring achievements that are actually going to lead into some elite levels that you actually can get at the account level over time. So there's actually quite a bit that as you're playing through the game as a player, you can continue to build your advancement. We have a lot of experience at Turbine in doing those kind of things, so we wanted to make sure we really bring that, to this MOBA genre.
Ooh, but it's still it's a tricky thing, because experienced players being able to get some exclusive skills and anything, aren't the newbies gonna scream?
Yeah, so they're not exclusive skills. It is augmentation to the skills that you have, right? So, and you have to make trade-offs. Everything about the game and things that we're adding to it is trade-offs. So if I want to get this particular power, I have to give up that other power. If I want to take advantage of this catastrophic event that's happened, then I need to, ignore something else that's happening in another part of the map. I might have to sacrifice a capture point in order to actually go get that thing that the meteor made available to me. Even the way that we're allowing you to get merit, which is our version of gold in the game. Last hitting still exists as a way to get gold, but you probably noticed when you were playing, you kill an opponent, you get gold. It's actually like dropping loot in a way that you just run over and pick up. So you have different ways of actually getting that. Those are choices. Do I want to take the time to go grab that loot, or do I want to get on to the next capture point that I'm trying to defend? So it gives you lots of different ways to play the game.
It has kind of a unique flavor. And as a last question, your favorite character so far, if you can talk about it?
Ooh, that's impossible. I love all these characters. You know what? It all started with Nightmare Batman. And so I do love Nightmare Batman, and how can you not love a character that, for their ult basically jumps on your back and bites your neck?
It's an interesting character. Is it established in comics already?
There actually is. Yep, there actually is a character very much like that in the DC Comics called Red Rain.
All right, thank you very much for the information, and good luck with the project.
Thank you, my pleasure. Cheers. Thanks a lot.